Perhaps the most famous parable Jesus taught was that of the prodigal son. You know the story. He took his wealth from his father's inheritance and went to the far country and spent it on loose living, and then came to his senses and went back home to be hired as a servant. His father was looking, longing, and waiting. He embraced him, celebrated, proclaimed a season of feasting because the son had returned. This parable reveals the heart of God, our Father. In this time of pestilence, in this time of pandemic, the same God who sets the table for the prodigal has set a table of love and mercy for us to come home, to rest in the Father's care. One of the greatest parts of this new book by Walter Brueggemann about this time of pandemic and pestilence is an excerpt from the book late in the final chapter when he refers to a pastor, and I want to quote. He's a pastor named Martin Rinkart, who during the 30-year wars of 1618 to 1648, when Christians were killing Christians, he spoke this way, did Pastor Rinkart. He offers a startling awareness. Martin Rinkart was pastor in Eilenburg, Saxony, the town of his birth. The walled city was a refuge for many fleeing war and pestilence. Left as the only clergyman in town, Rinkart often buried as many as 40 or 50 persons in a day. Although his wife died of the pestilence, Rinkart survived. He continued to minister and speak of the grace of God and the loving kindness of Abba, to whose home we all can come. But you know Martin Rinkart if you know a great hymn of the church, because during this same time he wrote the words of a hymn that is all too familiar to many of us in different Christian traditions. Here are the first words of that hymn. Now thank we all our God with hearts and hands and voices, who wondrous things hath done, in whom this world rejoices, who from our mother's arms has blessed us on our way with countless gifts of love, and still is ours today. O may this bounteous God through all our life he be near us, with ever joyful hearts and blessed grace to cheer us, and keep us in God's grace, and guide us when perplexed, and free us from all ills in this world and the next. May God come to us in this way, in this pandemic, refreshing us with the glories of the Father's home, the Father's love, the Father's table.